Hi, my name is Cruz, and I can't figure out technology, so I'm going to be presenting in this way. I don't know if it's said that we should be screen recording because I can't do it. So, um, if you will, please open my presentation slide from the Google Docs, Google Drive file, and follow along for a better visual representation. So my paper is going to be on Claudia's journey from the mix-up files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler, the home versus the Metropolitan Museum of Art. So as we all know, in this book, it's about a young girl named Claudia, and she runs away to New York City to a museum with her brother, and her journey is physical and emotional. She goes through a transition of place and identity. So the paper will focus on Yifu Twin's theories of place, experience, and art to analyze how Claudia's sense of self shifts as she moves from her home to the museum. So, about place exists at different scales and becomes meaningful through everyday embodied experiences. And in my paper, it's going, can you even see that? So my paper is going to be focusing on connecting her home with being a private space and being the neighborhood instead of describing it as a neighborhood scale, and then the museum as a public and describing it as the city instead of describing it, what am I saying? Instead of saying it's city scale. Sorry. Okay, so the neighborhood. The neighborhood is small scale. It's full of familiar environments, and it's known intimately, often without residents even realizing it. So it's shaped through subconscious, repeated daily acts. So with Claudia, how is her home the neighborhood? Well, it's small compared to the city or the province, and it's full of everyday familiar environments. They sleep, eat there, they brush their teeth, interact with brothers, take out the trash. She does her daily life there, and it's not visually or conceptually prominent, but it's meaningful through routine, emotion, and sensory memory, especially memory. So Claudia's house is actually emotionally sterile. It feels less like loving compared to other literature works. So, oh, what? Okay, so places within the home like dining room table, dining rooms, or the bedroom is a personal place, and the meaning of a home is that it is a nurturing shelter. So it's the one place anybody could be open and comfortable, and it's the safe place of every individual. So when we can no longer maintain a brave front before the world, we go home. But to Claudia, her home is not as how Twin describes it. She feels injustice with chores and small allowances, arguments, and her parents don't seem to spend a lot of time with her. And to her, the reasoning is because she's the oldest and the only girl, and just because she gets high grades, but her family doesn't acknowledge her, so she doesn't get what she needs, which to her is appreciation. So the place of a museum. So in contrast, the museum, I spelled that wrong, sorry, I'm gonna fix it. The Metropolitan Museum of Art represents a city scale space, but in the paper it's going to be called a city, and it's meaningful through sensory exploration, so exhibits and observing details or them doing ritualistic things like hiding or things like that. So how is it the city? So city experiences are mundane and repetitive, like going to the store, but they form the background of life. And cities are built by people and they are built for people. They contain stories and experiences of people in the past. So museums are also of this situation. It's built by people and for people to come and look at things from the past. And these spaces within the museum, the different sections and objects and art, all of these things tell stories of people in the past and the background of vastly different civilizations or important people in the past. And Claudia creates meaning in the museum by engaging with rituals that might seem mundane but builds experiences by creating memories there. Okay,